What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today, and in this video I've been using my brand new replacement 15-inch MacBook Pro anti-glare edition for quite a few days now, and I thought it'd be a good time to give you guys my full in-depth review on it, let you guys know my thoughts about it, quick overview, and talk about the new anti-glare screen upgrade that I got with this computer. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so in a nutshell guys, the 15-inch MacBook Pro has been a pretty awesome computer. I have no complaints about it. The reason why I wanted the 15-inch MacBook Pro in the first place was just because I wanted a not too big, not too small computer with a decent sized screen. I'm not the type of person who wants to attach an external monitor and external keyboard and all that to make it a desktop type of experience. But I just wanted a big computer that's not too big but easy to carry around, and also have really good specs on it that I can depend on for the next 4 years of university, which is actually coming up this fall. So it should be exciting to go there, and hopefully my MacBook Pro will live up to its expectations when I'm using it there. Alright, so in terms of specs, this is a baseline 15-inch model. I didn't change anything in terms of the standard specifications that came with it. Features a 2 GHz i7 quad-core processor, 4 gigs of RAM, 500 GB 5400 RPM hard drive, a 256 MB ATA Radeon GDDR5 graphics card, and of course the high-resolution anti-glare screen upgrade that features a 1680 by 1050 resolution. Alright, so in terms of design, the 2011 MacBook Pros are pretty much identical to their predecessors of 2010, 2009, as well as 2008. We still get the solid unibody design, and it's a design that we all come in love from Apple, and so far there's really no complaints about it. Very solid. Over here we got the ports. First off, we're introduced with the MagSafe power adapter. Next is the Ethernet port. Firewire 800 port, Thunderbolt port, which is new to this year, 2 USB 2.0 ports, SD card reader, and the 2 audio in and out headphone jacks. Next we got the battery indicator lights. And moving on over, we got the remote sensor, as well as beside the remote sensor, which is hidden, is a sleep and awake light. And finally, on the other side here, we got the Super Drive and the Kensington lock key. On top here, we have Apple's traditional chiclet style keyboard that's on all their computers. It's a pleasure to type on, nothing really new about it, if at all. And it's definitely, if you're looking for a comfortable keyboard to type on your laptop, this is definitely your best bet, because it's definitely one of the comfortable ones I ever typed with. Almost forgot, the keyboard of course does light up just like on previous MacBook Pros. Makes it a lot more easier to type on, especially in the dark, easier to find keys and such. And also makes the MacBook Pro look a lot more professional and have a more attractive look to it when the keyboard's all lit up. Alright, so next, beside the keyboards, of course, are these speakers, and the speakers on the 15-inch MacBook Pro, like any laptop speakers, are not going to be the greatest, but they're still pretty decent. They can be loud, and for just watching YouTube videos or light music listening, they're perfectly fine. Next we have the Apple Trackpad on here, which is definitely one of the nicest trackpads ever used. A lot of touch gestures that go with it, especially with the new OS X Lion on here. You can do 2-finger scrolling, double tap for right click, and just full load of other features I can use it for. Very useful, very responsive, and uses the same touch technology as the iPods and iPhones, so you can definitely depend on it to be accurate and very functional. Next, of course, is my favorite new feature on the 15-inch MacBook Pro that I added, and that is the anti-glare high-resolution display. It looks really nice. It definitely has grown on me. On the top here, you guys can see the new FaceTime HD camera. Beside that is the ambient light sensor, which automatically adjusts the brightness on the screen. But back to the anti-glare, it does what it does, reduces glare, and also looks very nice, and it's a nice change from the glossy look that I had on my previous MacBook Pro. Over here you guys can see I got a flashlight here just to give you guys an idea of how much glare it does reduce, and with the flashlight pointing straight at it, you guys can see it does a good job diffusing that light and making sure that the only thing that you will see is of course whatever you're viewing on the screen. In terms of heat, the MacBook Pros can get a little bit warm even during basic usage, but that's usually during using the computer for long periods of time. The times where it gets really hot and when you hear the fans kick up in speed, that's when you're doing stuff like editing videos, exporting videos off iMovie or Final Cut, Photoshop, playing intensive games like Call of Duty. Those are the only times where you probably won't notice the MacBook Pro getting a little bit hot and where the fans kick up in speed. But during basic usage, Not so much, if at all, and it's pretty much like common for all laptops, not just the MacBook Pros, to get hot when using it for long periods of time or doing intensive applications. In terms of battery life, Apple states to get around 7 to 8 hours worth of battery life, I believe, and also in terms of battery lifetime, the battery should retain 1,000 charges before it hits 80% of charge left. But overall, for my usage, Firefox open, bunch of tabs open with it, brightness halfway, keyboard halfway, and Messenger open, I get a good solid 5 to 6 hours of battery life, which is pretty decent compared to all other laptops out on the market right now. Moving back to the internals, so this is where the MacBook Pro really shines with its specs and the options I can do with it. With a quad-core processor and discrete graphics card, the MacBook 15-inch MacBook Pro can definitely handle any task that you might want to throw at it. And plus, you can upgrade the RAM up to 8 GB as well as upgrade the hard drive to an SSD. You can definitely update your MacBook Pro and make it blazing faster than it already has been. But nonetheless, great machine, can handle any task in my opinion. And you should, for those of you power users out there, the MacBook Pro should definitely meet your demand. Like all Apple products, the MacBook Pros definitely come at a price premium, with the 15-inch base model running at $17.99 or $100 off with the education discount, bringing it down to $16.99. Question is it worth it? A lot of people argue that you can get a PC laptop with the same specs as a MacBook Pro for a few $100s or less. However, with an Apple product, you're not just paying for a picture of a fruit on it, but you're also paying for a great quality product that will last you for years to come. And in addition to that, you also get Apple's great customer service, which of course I found out when they replaced my brand new, which they replaced my 4-month 15-inch MacBook Pro with a brand new one that has so far nothing wrong with it. So you can definitely say you're getting great customer support as well. That will definitely go far beyond what other companies may do with their customer service. One other thing I did want to touch on is for those of you new Mac users out there, if you never used Mac OS before or have little experience with it, switching from Windows to Mac, it's fairly an easy transition in my opinion. What I have to say is, if you can use Windows, you can use the Mac OS X OS 10 line. Very simple transition, and will take a few days to get used to because obviously things are in different places, but they are similar in terms of function and where things are. But overall, it definitely took me a few days to get used to. But like I mentioned, smooth transition, and once you get the hang of Mac OS 10, you probably wonder why you were using Windows in the first place. But anyways, that's my thoughts for those of you new Mac users who are watching this. Overall, guys, 15-inch MacBook Pro is definitely a great machine. For those of you new Mac users out there, you can definitely be satisfied with it. And for those of you previous Mac users out there, you can definitely know it's a huge speed bump as well as performance with the new 15-inch MacBook Pro. They're just released in February, so now it's definitely a great time to pick one up. And so far, from my experiences with the 15-inch MacBook Pro, definitely very happy with it, and I can definitely depend on it to last my 4 years of university. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button on the top there, and I'll see you all next video.